Let's take a look at some of the Power BI and Power Platform capabilities just to highlight that. So for example, if I click on my project management perspective here, this is my project management area where I could be creating projects, quotations, contracts, and then also entering in our expense item and fee journals that are against projects potentially. But what we also have inside of this workspace that you may not have seen before is an analytics area as well. And once I click on that analytics area, what we're going to see is an actual Power BI embedded based dashboard that we can interact with within our environment. So examples of that, here I have my projects overview that's showing my percentage of work completion and the actual billable hours ratio that's related to it, so I can actually have my cost performance index. On here, I'm able to go to different tabs then to drill into different information as well, to be able to actually then interact with those just like you do within powerbi.com to be able to access that information. I can have different revenue breakouts. I can have different charts and different styles inside of here. And then also you can actually go through and then edit these analytics to change the charts or even select different analytics within Power BI. This is a new feature that was recently added then with our actual spring release of being able to actually go through and manipulate these from an end user experience to be able to make those changes. So a really powerful capability for that dashboarding concept. And we also then also have workspaces that focus entirely just on analytics. So what I did is I clicked on my CFO overview as an example here. And then so this is actually another Power BI embedded based report that allows for us then to drill into that particular information as well. So I've got my gross margin, I've got my cash flow information that's being conveyed here, and even my expense information on USMF. So these are all the different charts and graphs that are integrated with it. Now, the key thing to note is it doesn't just stop there, and that's the cool thing in my mind about this, is that it goes even further than that. When we are looking at the customer credit and collections, for example, and we were drilling into this information, we had tiles that we can expose. So we can actually set up Power BI tiles, click on, for example, the add or remove tile capability that's inside of here, and then go through and then add additional tiles that we see fit to be able to then drive the information that maybe we want just on an actual dashboard as part of that processing. And so you can see my tile catalog is popping up here, and this is actually going out to powerbi.com to grab this information. So that means if you use Power BI right now, and let's say it's for a different system that's not ERP, but you want that information to be conveyed inside of your ERP system, you can take those tiles, because these are all the different reports that are in Power BI, and then put them into this one particular workspace. And as you actually interact with it, for example, and click on the information, it'll actually then bring you into your actual dashboard or your report that you've designed inside of Power BI. So here's an actual example of a dashboard that I created inside of Power BI for industry margin analysis. It was actually a standard one that we went through and updated. I can do filters with slicers that are inside of here. And what I can also do is I can click on the open in Power BI, sign into Power BI, and access this same information in my actual reports here, for example, inside of Power BI. So therefore, I do not need to just actually have end users that need access into Dynamics 365. I can also then create reports that look at Dynamics 365 data that then display that information, obviously through Power BI. So therefore, I do not need to have a license that I use to connect to it for people that just need basic reporting information for their job responsibilities.